Good morning, junk removal warriors. Joseph here, Vets Haul Junk Removal in Stafford, Virginia. Somebody asked me last night, the way you talk in your videos, is that the way you talk in real life? No, it's not. When I make a video, I should say I talk this way about 75% of the time. I don't usually talk this way to my family. Sometimes I do, if I'm not in the greatest of moods. But typically, 75% of the time, this is my voice. But especially more so, guys, when I have an idea to make a video because I'm so excited to share it with you. I'm a teacher, guys. I share. One of the ways I get fulfillment in life is by giving this information freely away to you in the hopes that you will use it to be better in junk removal. Somebody asked me recently, you could make money. You could consult. Why aren't you selling this information? Why are you putting it out free? Many individuals in the junk removal space use your information to make money. Sell it. Guys, I have found that money, and I know many of you agree with me out there, is not the most important thing in the world. I don't do what I do for money. I have plenty of money. Easy come, easy go. I can go out and make a bunch of money in just a little while. No big deal. Anybody can. You can. I can. We all can. For me, I do what I do because it makes me happy. One of the reasons I excelled as a platoon sergeant in the United States Army was because at any given time I had between 25 and 35 young warriors who I had the privilege of mentoring and developing. And that's just what I do. I like what I do. It fulfills me. So that's why I do what I do. Money is not important to me. And in the vein of sharing, that's not the topic of today's video. And I'll make it quick. Today's video is going to be about the type of images that you are using to brand your junk removal company. Because like I've said in previous videos, in a lot of videos, relationship building and branding is where it's at. If you experience a tremendous slowdown this winter, if your phone stops ringing or doesn't ring as much, if you're not working as much, if you begin to worry and doubt if you made the right decision to get into the junk removal industry, I ask you this. When things were great, during the land of milk and honey, okay, the spring and summer, were you creating those strategic relationships and partnerships with realtors, real estate flippers, stores, facility managers and staff, and the list goes on? I like to call them centers of influence. Were you putting yourself out there and making yourself uncomfortable and getting in front of these centers of influence and being like the squirrel, okay, storing away those nuts, okay, creating those relationships so that come winter, all right, things weren't slow for you. Things aren't slow for you. Guys, I laugh whenever I hear the term, it's the slow time of year in the junk removal space. For the last going on 6 years very soon, here in Stafford, Virginia, in Norfolk, Virginia, and in Lake Norman, North Carolina, our 3 stores, we have been creating strategic relationships and partnerships with centers of influence in our market. So if we do experience a slowdown, which we do, very slight, but every year, during the so-called slow season, okay, our slow season begins to decrease and decrease and decrease. We are the leader. I am the leader here in Stafford, Virginia. When it comes to junk removal, you don't have any more reviews than I do. You don't provide better service than I do. And you certainly have not created as many strategic relationships as we have here at Vets Haul Junk Removal going on 6 years. A lot of you ask me, because I mentor a lot of you, how are you staying so busy? Because we didn't just focus on the easy and quick money, okay? We invested ourselves in the ability to increase our bottom line in the future, guys. I spoke to a young man last night, and he says, I'm not getting any calls, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I said, well, let's look at the basics, because oftentimes, guys, The reason many of you fail in junk removal is because you get away from the basics. You're trying to reinvent the wheel. If you visit any of these Facebook junk removal business owner groups, yeah, there's a lot of bad, negative information. Guys who are talking but aren't really knowing. But if you wade through the water of all of the posts and answers, you will find a plethora of really awesome information, good information, of substance, okay? And one of the things that many of us who know talk about are the images that you use for branding your junk removal business. The young man I spoke to this past weekend, I said, well, let's take a look at your website and your Facebook page and your Instagram and your LinkedIn and your this and your that, and let's figure it out. Let's see where the weakest link is. He says, well, I don't have a Facebook, or I don't have a LinkedIn or an Instagram. I don't even have a GMB. So we looked at his Facebook page, and I saw nothing but pictures. He had quite a few pictures. The intent was good, but the delivery was way off point. He is following what everyone else is doing, and just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean that it's correct. Many of you, a lot of you, are taking the before and after pictures of your junk pile, of your junk removal project, of the garage clean out, of the backyard clean out, of the brush pile, what have you. Then you put the before and after on your Facebook page, and you think that that picture is going to build curiosity in the customer's mind to dig a little deeper, to dive a little deeper into who you are and maybe give you the job. Guys, before and after junk removal pictures does not an empire make. Any of those types of pictures are boring. They don't create curiosity, or they don't influence the customer to continue scrolling to find out more about your junk removal company. I did that as well in the beginning, but I realized very quick you get more mileage out of people and faces and smiles. Visit my Facebook page, Vets Hall Junk Removal LLC, Stafford, Virginia, and you will see that the vast majority of my photos are of people smiling. Guys, there's something about a smile, an authentic smile, that induces a feeling of confidence when one of your potential customers looks at that picture. As I'm visiting this young man's Facebook page, all I'm seeing is junk pile, before and after junk pile. And there wasn't anything that made me want to stop. And before you know it, I was through his 125 pictures or so. And I told him, I said, you need to focus more on getting people in your pictures, whether it's pictures of you or your employees actually doing work, you and your employees on the job, in the field, performing junk removal services. Do it and take a bunch of pictures. Now, that's not going to increase your business immediately. It's not going to increase the number of calls you get immediately. Facebook is not really for advertising. It's more for branding. But if you do this long enough and hard enough, guys, I'm OCD. Maybe that's one of the reasons I succeed at most everything I do, because I am OCD. Since day one, almost every junk removal project that I've ever done, I make time to take between 5 and 20 or more photos of each junk removal project that we do. Some days we have 5 and 6 jobs. We had 5 jobs the day before yesterday, 4 jobs yesterday. I may have pulled close to 60 images from 9 of those jobs. I don't use all of those images, but I use the good ones, at least what I believe are good photos, good field photos, in order to build my brand, so that when a potential customer sees my visits my Facebook page, my Facebook page creates interest. It creates curiosity. It relays confidence to the consumer. It paints my business in a professional light, because we are professional junk removal haulers, better than everyone else in my particular market and the markets we serve. And that comes through in my photos. So I wanted to share one quick photo with you. I don't want this video to be too long. I really only wanted to talk about photos today. Get away from the before and after. It's not doing anything for you. It's actually working against you. A few are all right in the beginning, but by and large, guys, totally move away from that. Start taking photos of people, and especially with your junk removal customer. If you're scared, because I've talked to a lot of you, and a lot of you are just scared to ask the customer to have a photo taken with you, well, you need to get over it. If you want to win, you need to identify your weaknesses and work to eliminate those weaknesses. Now to this picture. Yes, I agree that this is not the optimal photo for branding because we're wearing shades, and many of you might also say, well, you're crossing your arms. That shows that you're closed off. I would only agree with you that perhaps we should not have worn glasses, but then somebody else on the flip side told me that because we're a military branded company, those shades work. Guys, this is the kind of photo the customer wants to see. This is the kind of photo that will elicit confidence. This is the kind of photo that will make the customer want to hire you. The color is great. The lighting is awesome. We're smiling. Our uniforms, we're in uniform. Many of you aren't in uniform. It doesn't cost a lot to get a uniform. This is a very early picture in the iteration of the Vets Hall Junk Removal uniform. We got away from multicam. They're just too expensive. Now we transitioned over to a Walmart Wrangler brand cargo pant at $20 a pop. But our shirts are now black. This is our uniform. It's a good looking uniform. Customers respond to this uniform. Guys, we're standing confident. We're looking directly into the camera. This is the type of photo that you want to have on your website, on your Facebook, on your LinkedIn, on your Instagram. This is the kind of photo you want to have on your brochures and your marketing collateral. And I'm not saying wear glasses, obviously. I'm saying get a couple of guys in uniform, get a nice background. And I'm not talking about field photos. I classify my photos in two different ways. Field photos, where we're on the job, and I put those up nightly, and then professionally produced photos by a paid photographer. For branding, once you make a few $100s in your first few jobs, especially if you're new in the junk removal industry, invest in good quality, professionally produced photos for the branding of your junk removal company. So, I said I was going to make this video short. Hopefully I did, not too long. But guys, get away from the before and after junk removal photos. Move towards these types of photos and you will do well. That's my tip of the day. If you like the type of things I talk about, would you subscribe to my YouTube channel? You can also hit the thumbs up button, which will make you aware of the very next time I make another video. If you're in Northern Virginia, you can reach out to the Junk Removal Company powered by veterans and patriots. Yours truly, Vets Hall Junk Removal at 540-657-VETS. That number once again is 540-657-8387. And you can find us on Vets Hall at vetshalljunk.com. Talk to you next time.
Rock steady. Rock me, rock.